Okay, I'm gonna start explaining again. Okay, I'm recording already. For the record, we are going to access to trade distributors. What we're going to do today is creating the store and some POS terminals. By the way, when we're working with LS Retail, the idea is to create a model. This is not the actual final store. We might require still some work here, but we are going to be able to see how to create through one importing tool that NAB has that we call Rapid Start Services. Well, LS Retail actually has one specific Rapid Start. Let me try to look import export worksheet. Okay, here is this is the Rapid Start Services for LS Retail. Please make a note. It's called LS Import Export Worksheets. This is what we actually are going to use, because as you can see, we have some export, import, and insert default data functions. And here we have some tables. This is what we are going to be exporting, importing tables, information in one database. So we have one company here in NAB that is called Chase Updated. And we have the importing tool that is called LS Import Export WS. So this is the first comment. And we are going to be working with the actual importing tools that NAB has. We'll be importing, exporting tables related to LS Retail only. The ones that we actually call profiles. In LS Retail, a profile is something that we actually set up in the system that contains information about one store. The profile then can, as an example, can be understood as the functionality profile, as in the first table we can see here. In the profile section of the importing tool. A functionality profile can tell me how a POS with different functions that we have, excuse me, in every store and every POS. We have functions such as how do you want your store to be configured with a specific buttons, for instance. How does a plus in a calculator, in a keyboard, how does a plus, what does it does? Okay, it summarizes numbers. That's a functionality. And that will be working in combination with a menu profile. A menu profile actually is a real menu. When we open a POS, you go to Walmart or a supermarket, and in the screen they have plenty of different buttons in a menu with different functions from the functionality profile in our case. So it contains all the functions and all the menus and all the buttons that we have. Later, we also have an interface profile where we can check how it looks. We have different interfaces. As an example, we have a tablet as a POS where we can swipe screens like in a tablet with your hand, and you will be actually changing from screen to screen to be able to sell. An interface can show me the buttons to sell, but also could show me if I change my screens according to the design of the POS, different information. So I could be swiping or from one screen to another with my hand, from the calculator to the actual item journal, where I will be summarizing the items that I'm selling. So the interface actually is just how it looks, how is the size of the screens, how is the specific windows, what is the size of the calculator of my POS, the size of the if I click on nutritional information, how it will be looking. So that's the interface profile. And style, it's, well, so you know that we need to have style in our lives. Illustrator has style, and we need to understand that we have colors, fonts, and that's what Illustrator call style. And there is information about all of this, right? So there's a lot of information just for you to know. The profiles are super important to understand what they are. Try to remember them, later check the specific a video, in this case for the importing tool, and look in your instructions about these profiles, because you also are going to learn how to configure manually. Then we have some others. Okay, what is other? POS commands. Below every button and every function, we will be triggering when we push a button different functions or commands, which are just tons of codes where in a store, every function related to a store, from hospitality, like if I click one button, it's going to be to comments related to a restaurant, like the tables, like the how to split the bill between the guests and so on. POS commands such as if I click on this button, the command will multiply by 2 the number of items, but still the same price, which will be 2 per 1 as an offer. So we have dozens and dozens of commands. Just for you to know, the commands operate the entire functions in the POS and so on. Post the data table, a scheduler job header. Well, just showing some things in NAV. A scheduler, we have a scheduler, very important scheduler in NAV. Scheduler job header is going to help me because you need to understand a part of your work, and my part of the training that we are going to show also is we need to, you know that we might have stores all over the country, in different countries, in different states for our customers. So while they are selling, Illustrator works by copying information into from the POSs from the stores that are in the beach, in the mountain, in the city, and we need to extract that data of the sales data, how many items were sold, blah, 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 and start replicating, that's a word we use in LS Retail, that information and copy it into the server. So what does a scheduler does? Well, it's a tool for you to remember this. It's a tool that is going to help me to actually replicate the information between the databases into the central server. So that's all. I don't want to explain all LS Retail in one session. It's just impossible, but just the basics about the importing tool that you see here. And then we have some other things: POS tags, POS context menu, search index table. Those are specific related to the tables that we have now. Once we have a store, we might require also to have information about a specific tickets. As an example, we print tickets, we print a lot of stuff. Many things are printed while we are selling. Even the credit card, voucher, gift card, thousands of things can be printed. So we have POS tags, context menu, index table. Such information is then considered in these 3 tables. So just as an example, okay, many tables. Then we have hospitality and a lot of things, once again, in the hospitality section. Okay, how does it work? I'm going to stop the explanation. When I work within LS Retail, you know that, and because you have maybe seen already LS Retail working, I don't know exactly where you are at this point. This is basic training. We have always I'm gonna start working with that a demo company. We have always most of the time a demo company that is installed in the servers. Why? Because it's a model for us consultants. Whenever we need something to see maybe configurations, to review how it works, so we can test immediately a functionality in our demo. And we don't have to necessarily go to any other place. So I always try to leave the demo company. And here I'm gonna just review the import export worksheet. Okay, here is where I have all the information about the LS retail that is pre-configured in the demo company. Now, once I have all of this, very important guys, here I have all the information. You must know that the demo company has many stores that are pre-configured. We have supermarkets, we have restaurants, we have a lot of things, all right? Let me show you one of, I don't know if in Chase is already everything installed, I'm talking about LS Retail. Let me try to open one of the stores for you to see it for the first time. I'm gonna have the possibility to look into the departments. This is NAB, and I have a point of sale. So I'm gonna click here, and let's see if I can open my store. Okay, I'm gonna need to install. I remember that we installed everything, or am I wrong? Let me check. Chase updated. Chase the demo. One second, then I'm gonna need to install the. I'm gonna show you what do we need to install. I don't know if we have it here. Okay, when I try to open a store, I'm gonna run the client. This is giving me an error at this point. I cannot continue to show, to only show the importing to training, but also I'm going to need to install the POS. What is installing the POS? We have some installer files, and the POS is programmed. It's an application. Actually, it's not NAB. It's an application that we actually install. Let me see where I have these files, if they are here. It should be there. Okay. And it's an application, the POS, the actual POS, it's an application we install that is in .NET. I believe that's the language, and that application should be installed here as well. Here is that's our director, setup. Okay, for you, for the record, please check this training. If you see an error, when you try to open a store, it means that you have not installed something, and we are now talking about LS Retail. This is an installation for LS Retail from scratch. So if I ask you, hey, I have an error, we don't have the components for LS Retail, something happened, maybe it was installed, I don't know. I remember that some work was done here for LS Retail. But you can see by running the client, the POS client in the LS Retail section is going to be opening my store. I'm gonna click it again, the wrong client option, and is having an error that a component is missing. Version of the component that is asking me is a .NET Framework object, assembly POS. So when this object is going to try to assemble my POS with the buttons, with the profiles that I show you, and it's going to integrate all the information that I showed you before with the profiles, the hardware, the buttons, the POS, the menus, blah, 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 and voila, created for me so I can operate. But this specific component is not here. and I must have it here. In every time we do an installation, we have a folder in C that is called LS Retail. It's part of every standard installation. Expect to see an LS Retail folder in the local disk every time we work with LS Retail. Because this is installed while we actually work with NAV. When we know we are going to work with NAV and LS Retail, I personally, and I try to give you the database that is already assembled with NAV and LS Retail. For the record, we are going to be installing the LS Retail POS objects. And it's good that we had an error. We are going to be installing them for us to have the actual work we need to do every time. If I go to the LS Retail, this is the version of LS Retail 10. Remember, this is already we have 11, but at this point, 10 is one of also as well of the latest version, number 10. Now, here I have some folders in this setup folder for you. Every time you want to review some of the objects you need to install, if you're being asked, look for this folder. All installers will be there. So expect to have the LS Retail folder. In the setup folder, then subfolder, you're going to have all the different installer components. Now, when I'm talking about the POS that is not opening because there is a missing component, we must check the folder that is called LSNAV Toolbox. I'm going to double click on this one, and here, look, I have the what we call the client components. This is the application and the service components for the POS. If I install this, I expect to now be able to open the POS. Let's see what happened. Or what I need to do, what I need to do, these are very simple components to install. This is what we call both of files, we call the toolbox. And every LS Retail consultant must have this toolbox word learn. How we sometimes call, did you updated your toolbox? Is your toolbox updated? The client components are going to be opening the application of the POS, and the service components are going to be able to connect the POS to the NAV services that we have, LS Retail services as well, because we need to connect that application to NAV, correct? Remember that this is not actual NAV. We are opening another application that is going to be connected to LS Retail. LSNAV now we call it LSNAV. So the toolbox are the client and the service components, and the toolbox is located in the setup folder. Now I'm going to double click on the this LSNAV icon of one of my first components, the client components. So I'm going to install it. I'm going to click on yes, and if this is telling me that this will be installed in program files. 36 and in the specific folder for LS Retail NAV. That's fine. I'm not going to change. I normally don't change any of this. You can do so if you want it, but it's okay. Everything will be installed in the LS Retail LS NAV folder. So my components will be there. And this is asking me, do you want to install additional components for now? So look. And these components contains different versions of NAV from 2013 to 2017. So please mark the one you're going to be using, in this case 2017 for version 10. And for you that you're learning, you can see that in 2016 we have the version 9, in 2015 we have the version 8. Now, in additional components, we have LSNAV Start, Dual Display. LSNAV Start is just LS Retail by itself, the POS I mean. The LSNAV Dual Display is a second component because sometimes we have two screens in the POSs, in our hardware. The normal screen that the cashier uses, and a dual display for the customer to see what is being scanned and to see the total that he's going to be paying. So that's a dual display. And the OPOS components, very, very important for you to understand as technical people. The OPOS drivers. OPOS is a driver for the for the retail industry in general. Not only LS Retail, but all the retail industry uses specific drivers to install the specific hardware used in LS retail, in the retail industry, such as the pin pads, the printers. You can see that when you go to the store, there are a lot of components, a scanner, there you can see the scale. So all of these components or peripherals are connected to our software, yes, or can be connected, but we always use Opus drivers. There are many type of drivers in the industry. There are Windows drivers or for Linux and blah, 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 Android, but we can use at this point Opus only. All right, so every time we install a printer, we need to ask, does it has Opus drivers? Because those drivers are the only and the industry standards for me to connect to my software. Demo data fonts, that's fine, and LS hardware station. So this is just a regular installation. Select all these options, and I'm going to select the 2017. I'm going to click on next, and it's just going to install everything. I don't have to do anything else, all right? So those are the client components. I'm just going to wait for the installation, and this tells me that it's finished. Then I'm going to install the service components, and I'm going to double click on the service components and click yes. So once again, the service components has a lot of versions. This installer, select the one you require, in this case 2017. I'm going to click just on next and directly just install it. So as you can see, both components are very easy to install. It's just a next, and finish. So voila, it's done. Let me see if now I can open my POS, or let's see what's going on. No terminal. Okay, now we have a second error. No terminal selected in retail user table. So previously we had an error that a missing component was not there, and now we're having a second error, but this is related now to a configuration. So we can say that now the components are installed. When you are being required about install the components of LS Retail, what we're going to do is we're going to give you the NAV components so you can install all the things that you already know how to install. You're very good at it, and you know how to integrate with SQL to restore the NAV a database, and it actually has already the LS Retail components in NAV, but you're still going to need to install these two components we have installed. So we finalize the installation. And that's all. So it's very easy. Let me just now complete my configuration. Do you have doubts so far?
No, we're good.
Okay. So this is one of the first procedures that we need to learn. Now, I'm going to check for the terminal LS Retail users. Remember that this is the demo company. Retail users. All right. Okay. What I need to show you now, and this is maybe more for you, also something I would like you to continue with these trainings while we are working. I don't know if you will be also working with some other specific work with LS Retail. Today we're going to see the importing tool, and you will be seeing some other setups that are important, like this one. We have users. We need to configure the users. We need sometimes to I would like you to introduce you to NAV in terms of being able to control security for the users. That would be really helpful for us. Okay. Every time we have access to the software, either is NAV or LS Retail. Let me show you. I'm going to start from scratch. Talking about the users. We need to configure every time we make a new installation, at least one administrator user. And we have two, because you remember that LS Retail and NAV are two different softwares from two different companies, but are actually integrated together seamlessly. That's the word, I believe. So there's absolutely no evidence or no difference evident to the user. So it's apparently the same software, but we know that they are just actually integrated. So I need to configure users for NAV, and I need to configure users for retail. So you can see that I have users as an option, administration, IT, administration general, and the retail users. So if I need to complete any installation, my own user, the one that the customer provides me to make the installation, needs to be here in this section of the users. I have selected the first option, only users, and remember there is also retail users, two type of users for the record. Okay, so my user should be integrated in first of all the users, which is the NAV user administration section. And I'm gonna click on new, and the following window will appear. This is for the video when you see it. You just need to select, most of the time we have the Windows username. It depends. But you can select from most of the time. This is a very standard installation. You're going to be able to see the how do we call it, the IIS users, which are here, and you might find here the administrator. All right, just select it. I haven't done it already. Select the administrator, click OK, and voila, this is going to be able to create a new user for you. Just by selecting the Windows username, it's going to bring all the data in the user card in this section, the user card. So I'm going to be able to create my own users from the actual from the actual IIS. So you can see all the users that were created previously here. And this is for the entire system. We might have different companies, but the users are here anyway. Second, the LS retail users. So we have another specific setup that I need to complete, where I need to include the administrator user, LS retail or retail user. And it's I'm finalizing my configuration. In the retail users, as well need to include the administrator. So this guy, oh, it's not the administrator, excuse me, we are Optimus. Our user is Optimus. Okay, this was a user that this customer provided us for us to install and operate as administrators of this server and to be able to make our own configuration. So I have, I'm giving you the option and you need to complete the configurations. Once you have installed NAV, install the two components of the POS and configure the user, your Optimus user, whatever is the name, your Optimus user into these windows, the user and the retail user. What do we do here? I'm just going to select, okay, one specific store for this user, which normally you will be having different, different stores in this section. So these are the demo stores, as you can see. Because this is the demo, let me show you what do we have in LS Retail for you to have some knowledge. We have supermarket, we have fashion store, we need to sell what's the word in English? Clothing. So it's very, very different, the operation in a supermarket from the fashion industry. Also, we have a restaurant, a call center. All of this is retail, guys. So we have electronic store, a pizzeria, a wrap, which is not fine dining. This is just a very, like a McDonald's type of restaurant, home furniture, Kronos cafeteria, and so on, all right? So because we are going to be working with a supermarket, I want to show you the supermarket first, and only the supermarket for this training. So please remember, configure the user and the retail user, assign the store, and I'm gonna click on this POS super user. We need to select this checkbox for your user. So when I access, I don't have any issue with permissions. And normally we only have 1 or 2 users that are going, only the key users. If somebody asks you, hey, please configure 1 user for me as a super user as well. So please configure it as a user, as a retail user, and a POS super user when it's required. So that's all. So this is the first tasks you need to work with. And I'm gonna go back now to the department section to open the POS once again. And here, once again, in the LS retail section, I have finished with the client, with the, oh, I need a terminal, excuse me, my retail configuration that I did for the user. And it's here, oh, retail user. So when you try to open that store for the first time, NAB is going to ask you, let me show you. We have the store, which is S0001. We normally select the store and the terminal for the user. A terminal is a POS, and a store could have many different terminals. It's the POS that you see in the supermarket. So we create different POSs. A list of different POSs could have. There might be in the entrance, in the middle, or if it's a supermarket, it's just like a line of different POSs, and so on. Okay, I'm gonna now once again open this. Now it's thinking. I have clicked once again on Run Client in the POS LS Retail section. So I want to open for the first time the so-called POS. And now it's opening. So now I have, this is what you're going to be installing later. We are going to see that. I believe that Steve already worked with this, so I might be repetitive. But for Sunsil, what we have seen is what you are going to be also working. Part of this that we have done, you will be actually installing in the POSs that we are going to, the customer is going to give us. This is the actual server, but we are going to be doing exactly this work in the POS. And Mr. Steve knows how to install LS Retail also. So both of you will be working with the POS installation, not in the server, but in the actual machine that we are going to be given for the specific store. Let me see. Okay. What we're about to see is the actual POS from a demo, and I want you to see for the first time. We have plenty of functions here, different buttons. Look, this is what the client is going to be able to see. We have a log on, log off to access to this new application. Remember, we are not in NAV, we are in an actual application in .NET language, or I'm not a technical guy, but that's the thing, guys. That's the thing. And I'm gonna click now on login to access for the first time. We have different functions that you might see here. Today's weather, maybe a panel demo if we want to see videos, check in, check out for the cashiers, a lot of functions. Okay, this is part of the profiles that we reviewed before. I'm gonna click on log on, another window appears, and here I have different users, filling the cashier, hyper with Metro Color. These are users that were pre-configured in the demo for me to see the functionality or maybe to present it. I'm gonna click on the first one, filling the cashier. Let's see what happened. And voila, here we have, for the first time, we are seeing a POS that you install, that you are actually, when you open this and you see, no matter how the buttons might look, maybe the consultant might design anything he requires, but you have opened now this application. So this is what you actually are going to need. So, and we here, I'm gonna show you now different windows that we have. First of all, we have the regular NAV that you have seen in the past, and here it is, Microsoft Dynamics NAV. Second, we have a second window that is called ePOS main, which is the actual POS, and this is another application, all right? This is the .NET application as well. Here we have a third window that I have here. This is, if you can see, welcome to Chrono Supermarket. Also, here I have a virtual a screen that is going to help me for me to see, for instance, the tickets will be printed here, and if I start selling, I'm going to be able to see the specific transactions that I will normally have when I print in the real world and give the ticket to my customer. That information is going to be appearing here. So this is the end of this first video. Hopefully there are no other errors that might appear. Every installation has their own specific characteristics and different difficulties, but so far that will be the standard. So if you have other requirements that could appear, remember we are only installing the toolbox in this part. NAV should have been installed before, and here we have the toolbox that we need to install first to be able to open this. So we are finished for this part of the lesson. Thank you. Okay. Any question, guys?
No.
Good.
Very good so far, Noe.
All right, very good, guys. Okay, here I just wanted to, this is not necessary to have in the video. I'm just using my mouse. This is a tablet POS, and I'm actually moving or swiping the POS. I just wanted to show you how I swiping the.
I can't see a screen anymore.
No? Oh, sorry. I don't know what's going on. Share again. Don't worry, I actually
perfect.
Recorded. All right, so here's a POS. Okay. Do we need to create this? Here we are going to be able to sell. Now, just give me 5 minutes and I'm gonna continue with the second lesson. This is the POS. Here, actually we sell. I need to click on start as an example. And here I'm going to be, this is a POS that for a tablet. Here, for instance, what I have here, let me explain you. All of these buttons and the size and the colors is designed, pre-designed. We can change all of these and configure anything we want. And in the center we can see some columns, description, quantity, price, blah, 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 and the balance in the bottom, the balance here. So I'm going to be able to select. It's very easy. Now this will be training for a cashier. I know that this will be very easy for you. What I want to look is some of the items that I can sell. So I'm going to be selecting my items. And I'm going to click the milk. I'm going to click on OK. And I'm actually, what happened? Is the items that I selected are being transferred to my screen because the customer or also maybe the cashier, we can include items in our POS window by scanning. So that's why we might need also later need to review how to install peripherals. But I'm showing you the functions for you to have some insight of the software. So we might include it manually with a keyboard. Let me show if I have the keyboard here, or at least a virtual keyboard. Item, search, item find, women's items. Okay, there are many ways to find my items with a keyboard. Here is a keyboard. Item number. You can see that sometimes the cashier type in your item, and here is one a search function. We can scan the item as well, and it will be appearing here every time. And we can look for the menus in the item section where I can just search or look up for any item. Anyway, that's just part of my very, very fast training here for the POS. For you to see it, and later when I start to sell, I have all the items and I have the balance 3.38 to be able to sell. It's very easy. This is the actual operation, and this is the first transaction that I need to do, and I need to click on total, well, just how are you gonna pay it? Cash, card, customer, other tender type, total discounts, blah, blah, blah. Cash is money, and the card comes in handy when I'm going to, as a technical person, Isaac will be normally the one, or I also Mr. Steve later, who will be installing the pin pads, because we're gonna, in some cases, not all the time, going to integrate the pin pads with this software. Now, as you can see, as I'm clicking on different buttons, different menus appears. I'm gonna click on cash, and now different denominations of money appear. Only cash, a button that is called cash, that is the customer paying me with 3.38 cents, or is he paying me with another denomination? So I can select it. So that's the way we work. This is just to show you some of the menus. And the idea that the menus are actually dynamically changing. I'm gonna click on cash, and look, another pop-up window appears, and so on. So this is full of this is what we call the functionality profile, the menus that appear, the style. The style for this, this is a designer, this POS is called, if I'm not mistaken, Metro. And we can actually, if you like it, we can now import it and take it from this demo environment and take it to our customer environment if we like the POS the way we see it, and just have exactly the same information and exactly the same components and this store in our customer environment. Okay, I'm going to show you the result of my first sale. Here is my ticket. For the first time, I have the Kronos Food Market South. This is the name of this store. Well, as you can see, it's not only about importing. I will need to configure, because we're going to be working with Chase, I will need to configure the name. Instead of Kronos Food Supermarket, this needs to contain the name of the customer and the items of the customer as well. And sometimes we show this type of configurations and tickets and the buttons. We show all of this to our customer. So it's very important for us to study LS Retail and the installation part, two separated activities. So we can actually give to the customer what he requires. He's going to see this. And well, there is no training in this part. That's why I'm not saving any or just recording anything. But just showing you how the POS is for the first time. And well, that's all. Once I have finalized my installation, I should be able to open this, and I'm finished for now. Okay, let's continue then with the other lesson. I'm gonna log off, and I'm gonna close the POS, and the application, that .NET application that used to be open now is closed, and I only have NAV. Okay, if you let me, I'm gonna work now with another training. This is now for you to help us not only with installations, but it's good for you to start learning about some technical functional tasks that we have, especially with LS Retail, which is very complex. You might need to practice after this session, which is good. Don't worry if we fail. We need to make a second review to see some of our errors that we have, and blah, blah, blah. But what we're going to do is just importing. Look, here I have my general. In the administration, I have my retail users. I have the general, I have my stores. I have my terminals, I have my staff. In the profiles, like we explained it before in the importing tool, I have interface profile, menu, functionality, style, and hardware profiles. So the whole idea is that I would like to import all of these components, but not, everything is installed. Now we are talking about the components that were previously configured or designed, and take these components into my Chase company. What I'm going to do is that going to the export worksheet in the demo company, and start working Now, creating my packages, import post functionality profile. Remember, this is a component to import and export information, very important. And before starting the recording, I'm gonna show you some of the characteristics of this importing tool. Just by looking for the import in the search bar, the import word, this option will appear, ls import export ws. And just click on that to open this function. And this form is going to help me to create some packages that I'm going to be exporting from the demo, and later I'm going to be importing. How does it work? Let's start with the first one. I need to import and export the different profiles that I have, all of them. I need all of them in order to start working. This contains information about all the stores that I showed you before, the supermarket, the restaurant, and everything else. So what I need to check is what is the information contained in every table that is shown here. Let's start with the first one, the table 1920015515. Here is a post functionality profile. So in this table, there is information about the store that I want. Let's try to click on the number 8 that you can see here. This means that I have 8 records, all right? So take a look. When I open it for the first time, the following is appearing. This is telling me that I have different functionality profiles for this specific a demo environment. But there's a demonstration profile, electron function profile, forecourt, hospitality. There's a lot of functions, all right? With the profile ID. We are looking for the profile ID. Let's take a look at the following. We have a kiosk, a demonstration profile for mobile, and so on. We are going to need to select one of these to take it to the Chase environment and to the customer environment. And we need to understand which one we are going to be taking. Just select it. In a moment, I'm gonna actually do it. But first of all, the lesson. Let me start a recording. Pause recording. Stop recording. No, this is recording. Recording, sorry. Okay, so everything I never stop recording this. What I'm going to continue is just my explanation. Okay, I have clicked on the first table, and this table contains 8 different lines. All of them they have a specific profile ID or code, default, demo, electron, forecourt, and all of them work for different things. So whenever, for the importing a lesson, exporting, importing lesson, I need, by clicking on any of this, I just need to select all the ones that I want to actually import or export. Look at them. And let me see. I need to select the specific one that I want. And okay, in the POS functionality profile, what I'm going to do is now export my POS functionality profile and just export it to the desktop. This is a package containing the 8 rows that I showed you before, the POS functionality profile, and just save it. So I have not affected any record, but let me see what's going on. Okay. For this record, I have 8 different functionality profiles, 8 profiles that I have in this database, in the demo database: the default, demo, electron, forecourt, POS, hospitality, take, kiosk, in mobile. It depends. I'm going to show you how to, when you need to know, or how you know which one to select. All right, but at this point, it's just selecting any random because I want to show you how to export it. Okay, in the second column, I have numbers of records to export. In this column, I'm going to be able to select this specific function or the specific functionality profile that I desire. As an example, I need to select the default, and maybe because I will be working with a supermarket, I would like to take also the mobile. Also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that if I just select all of them at the same time, sometimes I will have errors. So as a suggestion, select just one by one. I'm going to select the default one. And just by ticking or by selecting this checkbox and by clicking OK, I have one record to import. Why? Because I selected only one record in my export profile selection window that I have just opened. I have just selected the default option, and here now I have one record to import. Once I have selected one of the records, I now can click on export, and then I can now create my POS functionality profile file. Look, it's in XML. It's already saved in the desktop previously that I created. But in this case, I have selected the default profile to be exported, and I'm going to click on save to save my file. It's telling me that it already exists, so I'm going to click on yes. So this is telling me, hey, I finalized my export, and I have exported 14 records affected in 3 different tables. Okay, so this is telling me that yes, I have exported some information. So that's fine. That's what I want to do. And here is the post functionality profile XML file. Okay, here my server doesn't have or yes, it has. Let me open a notepad. Okay, look, this is a file that I have exported. So it has a lot of coding here that contains all the different functionality. For instance, the maximum quantity, compressed when scanned. It's a lot of function, periodic discounts, backup training, preload offers. Actually, Elos Retail is super big, but we're gonna be exporting this information. We're going to be exporting all of this into one single file because I want to use this in my new company that I have created, which at the moment is just empty. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to finalize my importing process by selecting the specific company that I require. This is the Chase updated one, but it depends of every of the customer. I'm going to click OK to change the company. And here, this is actually the production company from the customer. Once again, we are in NAB, but with different company. And I'm going to once again select the import section to open the import-export worksheet. And I have the functionality profile. Let me see. Oh, actually, it's already here, the default data functionality profile. But what I want to do is now import my package. Once I'm in the production company, that should be actually empty, completely empty. So I don't know why do we have specific information here. I'm going to take a look at it. But the whole idea is that this should be empty, and I would import my file, POS functionality profile, and I'm just going to select it and import it. Override existing record, if any, and I'm going to click on yes in this case. So I have imported, this is what I want to show you. You have imported the post functionality profile, web request, and some information that is here. Do you want to confirm it? Yes, and it's going to immediately import your file from the source folder into NAB. So this is how it works. This is not a normal for you, Steve. This is not exactly like your rapid start where you need to select the specific field, where you need to select the specific table. This importing tool has some other features where actually it actually selected 3 different tables for me. I just selected the post functionality profile to create and to import the file, but this NAV tool, this ls import export ws tool, helped me to select the specific information for my functionality profile. I'm gonna click on OK, and I'm done. So it's very easy. It's about exporting from the source, put the file into your desktop or any folder, and then import. And that's all. So here, if I click on numbers of records in the database, I have one. And I'm gonna click here on the default functionality profile is here. Okay, so this is the way this importing tool works. I just export from the source, from the demo normally, and import it into the one that we require. Okay, but then later, the lesson is easy, but then later, when the difficulty comes here, once you practice once or twice this exercise, it will be very easy. Later, the important thing is how you know what to import and what to export, which is the actual work here for us as consultants. Okay, what we are going to do is just check from the model. Every store should have one functionality profile, one hardware profile. Let me explain you a little bit further. The POS that we reviewed before, with the beautiful colors, green, blue, and it's a swiping POS, so I can install it in a tablet. The same components can be installed not only in the server, but in any machine that is being given to you, except for Android platforms. Android platforms, we have one specific tool that is for Android specifically, which is the mobile POS. We are going to check that in another lesson. The mobile POS is actually for Android devices only. But yes, we have one specific POS for that and specific components to be installed for that platform. Okay, do you have doubts so far? Okay, good. And thank you. So I'm actually just, oh, hello, Celia. So I'm just showing here how to import this. And now here comes the most useful information. The importing tool is very, very, very easy to use. It's halfway automated. You still need to make some selections of the POS's profiles. I'm gonna go back to the demo because I'm gonna show you how to select the profiles that I need to export and import. You will need to memorize the following part of the lesson. I'm gonna go to departments. I'm gonna click now on, let's see, back office, store management, I believe. All right, here. My memory is not that good anymore. I have the store management module. You're looking at this for the first time. In the less retail, we have one thing that we call the back office. The back office is where we design our stores. We design everything that we are going to be creating for our customers. What do we create? Well, we create the stores, we create the terminals, yes, the design, the buttons, and everything, guys. The staff list, the tender types. Well, there are plenty of functions that is not necessary to review now. But here, the important thing that is in the back office, I will be designing my store. And here, if I click on stores, okay, for me as a consultant and you the technical person, now functional as well, I'm gonna tell you which store I want. So we have here in the demo company, one, 2, 3, 4, 4, like 15 stores. All of them work as a demo, but this is fully functional for us. So I might ask you, hey, look at the stores. I would like to have in one specific customer I would like to have the supermarket or maybe the restaurant or the call center, a store. So this is the way we actually work. We are going to be selecting one of the stores to now import it and export it into the new environment. So I'm going to click on the first one, just the start number one, store number one. I'm going to double click here. And you need to make one note now. If you have a notebook, please take it. This is super important. I have gone through the stores. You know how to import and export. Now, what do I need to export and import? Which profiles? Because when I saw it for the first time in the importing tool, there were many, many tables. There were many functions. There were just for the first line, the functionality profile, just 8 different options. What is the functionality profile that I require if I ask you for the store number one? Let's take a look at the store immediately. This is your model, and I'm going to click on the store number one. The following window is appearing now. And here I have the functionality profile. What's the name of this sign? Hashtag? Double hashtag, default. So make note, take a look at the store and look at the profile that is given in the demo. So take a look. The interface profile is hyper. Please make a note. Functionality profile is default. The style profile is hyper, and the hardware profile is demo. So here I have all my profiles. Now I want these profiles so I can just exactly do the same within my own store, in my own environment. Let me actually just also make a note of this, because you're going to be importing and exporting these profiles. So by name, by the code that we are seeing here, so it's interface profile, functionality profile, style profile, and hardware. Okay. I see one card here. Actually, the alarm was activated. Somebody, you're really hearing the noise of an alarm. Okay, but the menu profile is not here. Let me take a look at that. Okay, do you remember what is a store? In the store, we have general information, but this is a Chrono supermarket. This is the general information. You don't. We consultants need to configure all of this. And later we have the profiles that are here, the POS profiles, very important. Now, from what I see here, I have the interface profile, the functionality profile. Make a note. You're going to need the interface profile, the functionality profile. Well, you're going to need exactly this. Interface profile, functionality profile, style profile, hardware profile, and menu profile, but I don't know where it is. I don't see it. Oh, here is the menu profile as well. So these profiles you're going to need to check whenever you want to create a store. I would like to have the Chrono Supermarket South store I would like to have this model of the POS that I show you for Chase, because it's a supermarket. That's the idea. So I'm copying the supermarket. In order to do so, I need to check which profiles this store is using. Okay, questions? All right, so that's all. Now, what I'm going to do is just, I don't know what's the menu profile, because look, we have different stores, but every store has different terminals. A terminal is of course a POS, and this supermarket has 10 POSs. Look, POS terminals, let me show you here. POS terminals is 10, and numbers of staff, it has 13. So we are configuring all of this, and here is the interface profile. So in the store general information is everything you need to know except for the menu profile. Why? Because if this is not configured at the store level, maybe the menus are different. We have different terminals. We have 10 terminals. Maybe the menus are different in every terminal. Why? Because maybe you have the terminal that is in the entrance, another terminal with different menus that are in the pharmacy or the drugstore, another terminal that is, I don't know, in the cafeteria, inside the supermarket, and blah, blah, blah. So we have different menus, and those are specific by POS terminal, right? So that's why this is not configured on the menu profile at the store level. This is empty here in the store, all right? So what I'm gonna do is to check one of the POS terminals. I'm gonna click on the number 10, and this is why this is Navision, because I can navigate into the specific functions. So I'm gonna click on this POS terminal number 10, and here is going to show me the different POS terminals. So here I can see that I have different POSs in this supermarket. Just as an example, this is the architecture of a store, all right? So we have two types of architectures, actually just the design, the functional design. The architecture is only, or you already are technical people who know about servers, who know about how they are connected, who knows about the operating system and the network, so that will be the architecture. When we talk about the functionality or the functional design of a store, this is what we are talking about, and you will be hearing about the design when we work together. So here we have the POS terminals. The POS terminal is in the supermarket that we are using as an example. We have POS at the entrance by the stock room. MPOS is mobile POS. So they are using one tablet or maybe one cell phone to sell. Now, also I have tablet with hyperlook, hyper terminal. So I have different look here: supermarket, grocery, retail, coffee shop. So what do you want to have here? It depends of what you are designing on a store level for your customer. Remember that we are just copy pasting, so don't worry about it. I'm just giving you the idea of what we are doing. Okay, so I would like to copy as well, just not to have complicated configurations in my first training. This is the POS at the entrance, a terminal. So I would like to see the information about this specific terminal. How do I do it? I'm just going to select the first one and click on view or edit. These functions work for me to see the information specifically. And here I can see that this terminal actually has the interface profile Metro, the menu profile Metro, and the style profile made Metro H. So let's take a look and make note of these profiles, because these are the ones that I'm gonna take from the source and import it into my own environment for the customer. But you need to see this information, and I'm gonna help you with that. I'm gonna tell you what you will need to be importing. Let me copy paste this also with my snipping tool, and that's all. Do you have any questions so far? I know we haven't not yet practiced, but I just wanted to show you that we have stores and we have terminals. This is what we call the design, and we might have specific profiles by terminal. So if you want to copy something, the POS that I previously showed actually was the P001 terminal. So that's why I came directly to this area. But if you want later with more practice and with more experience with LS Retail, you might be working with mobile POSs. You might with more complex and the technical work is completely different from the normal POS through a mobile POS. Look, and also the dual display POS. All of this is different all over the way, all over the configurations and the installations we're going to be doing. So with this, I'm just wanted to show that I need to copy my specific profiles for this terminal, and that's all I wanted to do. So to make this shorter, what I want to do now is just going to the import export worksheet. and look for the specific files that I want. Okay, I need the interface profile metro. This is coming for my POS at the entrance or P001 terminal. I would like to have the interface profile metro. As once again, as a suggestion, let's import one by one, not all of them at the same time, which can be done. So I'm gonna do one by one. First, the interface profile metro. So here is the interface profile. Let me see. Okay, so once again, we are in the demo company Kronos. And look, here are the interface profiles. I'm gonna click on the number 32. Oh, excuse me, I need to select what to export. So it's in the second column. I'm gonna click on this drop-down arrow list. What do you want to import? Okay, I saw that the interface profile was Metro. Here it is, I'm going to select it. Okay, so here is the interface profile Metro, the one that I want to export. So please select only the Metro, and voila, this is just selected and exported. One by one, it's really useful. For POS interface profile Metro. Okay, I have exported to my desktop. Then later, I need to export my menu profile, which is called, once again, Metro. And it's here. The menu profile that I want in order to work with that database, with that terminal, is the menu profile Metro as well. So I need to look for the menu. Here is the menu profile, and I'm going to select the number 30, the number of records to export. In this column, I need to select once again the Metro option. And here I'm going to be exporting the menu profile that is called Metro by clicking on export and so on. So as you can see, this is the only work that I require to do. Menu profile, and it's exported. Okay, now from the terminal, the style profile is Metro H. So I need to look, that's fine. The style profile is here. So the name of the style profile that I require is Metro H. Here it is. Oh, look, here's Metro M also. So please be careful of what you are exporting and exporting, because it might not be functional. Let's remember that all of this is linked. So, but don't worry, if you commit mistakes, it's not a problem. So Metro H, I'm going to select it and export it. So this is a Metro H POS style profile. All right. Let's please make note of what I'm exporting. And actually here, it's telling you what you have exported, okay? Number of records to export. You have exported the menu profile, interface profile, and style profile, because you have number 1 here, right? Later, the POS hardware profile is also very important. It contains a list of the different hardwares that I might have already installed, and I have pre-configured all the hardware that I require for my POSs. So I know that I checked the hardware profile that I was using for this terminal was the demo. I'm going to export it now. POS hardware profile demo. Very well. So it's exported, and the POS functionality profile, it was default. Just to make it a little bit faster, I'm selecting all the profiles that I require for my store. All right. This is default. Actually, this was already there when we saw it. All right, so that's what you need to do, okay? Review the store, review what profiles you have configured, and take a look at all of these, so you can just take it, export it into your file, and then import it in the actual in the actual database or company where you are actually just working. All right. So after that, I'm going to also need to import all of this. POS commands, all my tables, scheduler job headers if I need. So this is exactly, except for hospitality, I'm not going to be working at this point with hospitality information. I still need to continue to import, export all of this. Do you have any questions so far? All right. So,
No, not so far.
okay. Now, guys, very important. I know that this is just the first time, but this is super critical and important when we actually do an implementation. This is the core of the consultant job. So we need to select the profiles. We're going to be importing, exporting, and later we are going to select all the options that we have, all of them, in the other section. I'm going to explain you in a moment why. But look, the commands. Let me show you some of the commands we have. Here we have zoom table, void options, update. We have a lot of different commands. Tender operation. What else? Total discount, payment. Some of the different. Let me see if I have a description. No. All right. The idea is that I have all the different functions that every button could have. This is pre-program. I don't know if that word is correct, but these are actually functions. Look, refund, reject. So every time we configure a button in the POS, one of these little guys is behind the scene doing some work. So I need to come here in this specific window and select all. I want all my functions to be exported from the demo to the actual environment that I'm going to be creating, and I'm going to export it. So this is POS command, and I'm going to save it. So 571 records were affected, and I want all of this command to be exported. Now the POS data table as well. Let me show you in this other section, what do we have in this table? Okay, we have some other functions where I can just work with different screens that I have. So the export profile data actually that I might have will be helping me to, it's gonna contain, for instance, the customer view. The customer view, it's related to a menu when I click on a button, and it's going to be opening a window. The customer view is going to be showing, okay, I have the description of the customer and the number of the customer. So how does it look? I'm going to show you that in a moment. Just for the record, for now, select all of this as well as you did with the comments and click on OK. POS data table. And that's how we do with the other section, all right? Scheduler job header, not important at the moment, but here we can, excuse me. We are going to be able to move information between databases. Don't worry about all of this at this point with the scheduler. But I do really need what else? POS tag. Oh, worksheet request, let me take a look. Oh yes, I'm gonna need this. Also, I'm gonna require the WS request table. This is, you need to memorize this. Select all of the options that you have here. Make note, a WS request and export it, please. Import these files into the environment you are creating. So, well, 10,000 records were created here. That's why in LS Retail we say, look, within NAB, in order to create an environment, maybe we are creating 100 tables. We are working with maybe, I don't know, 1,000 tables, maybe at most. here we have only 10,000. That we have plenty of information. That's why they created this importing exporting worksheet. Okay, so we have exported WS request, and let me work now with the WS stack. Selection is not allowed for this line. Let me take a look. What is this? Contact number. It's not allowing me, but let's see. POS stack list. Let me take a look at what's going on. Context menus. Okay, select once again the POS context menu and export it. And last but not least, just to finalize this part of the training, let me take a look at this. What is this? Barcode customer item. Remember, we are going to need also the search index tables file. So please export it. I'm going to export it now. Search index table. So I have exported all my profiles according to the store that I wanted to create, which is a supermarket, and I have exported all my commands, data table, WS request, POS tags, everything is in the recording, all right? So this is what I wanted to just select and show in the training, and I'm just going to import it. But in the in the other company, which is just updated, we are going to be creating this now for the customer. All right, so I'm going to be just importing. So don't worry about more explanations because it's a button that is called import, so there's nothing to explain. But you saw all the different files that we work with. So what I'm going to look is now, I'm going to look for the files that I put in the desktop, and that's all. So there's no other complication here. Okay, the functionality profile that I require is the default functionality profile default. I'm just going to select it and import it. And I'm just going to be importing all of this. There's no other complication here, guys, anymore. That's why you need to practice this. Okay, now I'm gonna work with the hardware profile. It's the demo. I'm gonna click on import. I have hardware profile. Where is demo? I'm gonna click on yes. And there is imported. Now the menu profile was the menu was Metro. Let me import the menu profile. So, well, there's no other explanation about this, just I'm trying to select the ones that we saw in the original source store. So I'm going to be importing all the information. Nothing more than that. The style profile, post interface profile is Metro. Import. Interface, no. Interface. Where I put the interface profile? Interface profile Metro. Yes. Okay, and the style profile was Metro HH import. Open, that's fine. Okay. Okay, nothing else. Now the POS comments. All right. You can see what you have imported in the number of records column from the packages you have imported. All right. So it's a good idea to start reviewing this. All right. So this should be actually empty. I don't know why, but you know why I have records here, because Chase once was so pushy that I show that LS Retail works. So I somehow created this. But this should be all of this should be 0, and you will need to see what information is being imported by taking a look at the number of records. So now for the POS data table. Very well. Now scheduler job, WS request. Scheduler job, I didn't export it everything. Scheduler, remember, is to replicate between the stores and the central server, or the back office, the way we call it in LS Retail. So WS request, import. Here is the file. Yes. Very well. The hardest button to button. What's going on with this? It's stuck. Let's give it a minute then. All right, 10,000 records were imported. Now the POS tag, import. POS tag. Maybe the POS tag I wasn't able to import the POS tag. POS context menu, POS tag. Yes, I don't have the POS tag. Let me see, how can I work with that? POS context menu. Oops. POS context menu, import. Yes. Very well. And search index table. I'm going to import search index table. All right, so 54 records into tables. Okay, so the only one that I don't have is the POS tag. I'm gonna take a look at it, what's going on, but I wasn't able to touch it before. So with this, this is the second lesson I want to show. I'm gonna stop the recording and stop recording.